Okay, hi everybody. Here today we're going to talk about invisible zippers. So I've done a video on the preparation before, but we didn't get all the way through. So today, hopefully, we're going to take you from the package to the product. So we want your invisible zipper to be just like this, that I can't even see where it is. So the trick to an invisible zipper is actually two things. One, I love my invisible zipper foot. It comes two ways, either in the clear plastic or in the metal. Same thing. They look on the back or on the bottom. You have two channels that run down the foot, and your zipper teeth flow through that channel and makes it so it's perfect. So the spacing between the needle and the teeth, so long as you've prepared your zipper properly, should be perfect and consistent. So how do I prepare my zipper? All right, so I'm going to put one of these on the machine. So it goes with the little point pointing towards me. That's going to help guide my zipper teeth. And then we're going to talk about the zipper. Here's an invisible zipper. This is the wrong side of the zipper. When you look at an invisible zipper, the teeth are only visible on the wrong side. If I flip it over, the zipper's disappeared, right? So it's invisible. That's what we want for our effect when it is installed. So if I turn my zipper over, I'm going to open it. I'm going to turn it over. And the way that it's constructed, it has zipper tape along the teeth. So if I pull this open, you'll see that those teeth curl over on top of themselves. So if I put this zipper in my zipper foot, it would sew right along those teeth, which sounds great until we flip it over and see all of this tape would be visible. So the stitches would be running along the zipper teeth, but all of that would show, and we don't want that. We want it to be more like this, where I don't see the zipper at all. The only thing I see is the pull when it's closed. So I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to show you, if you take your nice hot iron and you push along, if I push along the zipper, I'm going to push it over until the zipper teeth completely uncurl and stand straight up. So if I go slow, you want to go slow so that it stays. The only thing you don't want to do is touch these plastic teeth, because they'll melt and then it won't work. But if you look along the side, see, you can see the zipper tape. You can see where the tape comes along those zipper teeth and to the top. So I can ride along those teeth, and still the iron, the hot surface, will only touch the tape, which will protect the teeth from melting. So I'm going to go down my entire zipper nice and slow to the point where they're standing straight up and down. So if you see here now, if I sew right along those zipper teeth, right, I am right there. I'm going to be right there alongside those teeth. And when I turn it over, you're not going to see any zipper tape. It's going to, once they're combined, as I zip it up, you're not going to see any of that. So through the miracle of television or YouTube, we're going to use the one that I already prepared, but the process is the same. I would go from one end to the other and prepare that whole side before I started. So this is the back of my friend's pillow, and I am going to take and put this zipper in here. So because it's the back of a pillow, I am going to make it so that when I install it, I've chosen a zipper that is significantly longer than the piece that I require. So this one, I'm going to make sure that both my zipper stop and my zipper pull are way outside of my sewing area. So I'm not going to run over any needles or any stops or pulls and I don't break a needle. So here I'm going to take it under here. I'm going to put the right side of my fabric against the right side of my zipper. So remember, the right side of my zipper is the part that I cannot see the teeth. So those two are going to go together. If this had a raw edge, it would be there. So right sides and raw edges together. I'm going to put that right like that. Now I'm going to come over to my screen and I'm going to lengthen my zipper or my stitch length just a smidge, just by 1 to a 3 millimeter stitch. I find that that's nice. It sews a nice secure zipper, but it's not going to bunch up. I want to leave plenty of room for my zipper tape and my fabric in between the stitches. Now when I come over to my zipper foot, I know that that groove is along the bottom. And I am going to put the zipper teeth right in that groove. So I'm going to put my foot down, just like that. Oop. And I can see that this is where my needle is going to line up, right with that point. So my zipper teeth are going to follow along that point, and my sewing machine is going to stitch it down in place. Oops. Big foot on an automatic pedal. There we go. This is why I don't usually sew with shoes on. So here I go. I'm going to line up my raw edge of my fabric with my raw edge of my zipper. And I'm going to go from one end to the other. So because the foot has the groove, I don't really have to think about the teeth. The teeth are going to ride along the groove, and the needle is going to do its thing right in line. The only thing I have to think about is lining up the edge of my zipper with the edge of my fabric. So here we go. Don't ever be afraid to stop and reposition yourself. It'll be fine. So I can hit stop and cut. So there's my stitching right along my zipper teeth. Perfect. So now we're going to close the zipper. Just like that. Look at that. And it's perfect. I can't see any zipper tape along the edge. It splits it right down the middle. So now we need to do our other side. And because we want our right sides and raw edges together, I always zip my zipper when I'm done. No, I can't sew it in place with the zipper closed. It needs to be open. But closing the zipper ensures that the right surfaces are together. I just need one pin. Here's my other piece. So I know that that's the wrong side with the zipper teeth. I want the right side of the zipper to go against the right side of the fabric. I'm going to put them together and I'm going to line up my pieces. So if we were talking directions, east to west, right? So they're going to line up when the zipper's closed. I want those pieces to just be perfect and line up, which they are. So here we go. If we focus right here, we can see the right side of the zipper with the right side of the fabric, and the raw edges are together. I'm going to take one single pin, and I'm just going to pin those together so I don't lose my place when I open up my zipper. So now I'm going to flip it over. And I'm going to unzip my zipper. And now I can't get confused about what goes together because I used that pin. So I know where the zipper goes and that the right sides are together. So now I'm going to lay it flat, just like this, along that raw edge and I'm going to put it in the machine and do exactly what I did before. I want to make sure that this stays flat and together. And I'm going to put my foot down. And I'm going to make sure that those stay. So I can see this is nice and flat. I know that that's where the fabric goes. I know that the right sides are together and the raw edges. And I'm just going to sew it. Oops. I hit that again. It's my big fat foot on this pedal. Here we go. Keeping everything lined up. I'm getting down to my pin here, so I'm going to take that out. No running over pins. And continue. I like to line up my zipper so that my fabric peeks out just a smidge. It makes sure that I don't lose track of where the edge of my fabric is. So if I started out and it was perfectly lined up and I wasn't paying attention, that fabric could easily poke over, right? So then when I sewed it, I would be beyond the edge of the zipper tape, and I don't want that to happen. I want everything to lay flat, and I only want to do it once. So if I leave the zipper tape so that the fabric pokes out just a smidge, I can make sure that I stay straight. It's a lot to keep track of. So I'm going to go right to the end. And I'm going to hit stop. And this time, I'm going to hit cut on purpose. And now both sides of my zipper are sewn. Ooh, look at that. That didn't start out good. Looks like I wobbled off track a smidge in the beginning. So I'm just going to re-sew that. Okay. So now, when I zip up my zipper, keep my little thread tails out of the way. I just want to make sure that I don't wear it so close until I get a chance to press it. I want to make sure I don't catch my fabric in my zipper. Lay it nice and flat. Sew it all to the end. And there you have it. So let's step over just a smidge and we'll press it so you can see what the end result will look like. So if I lay this out nice and flat and I press it, and this goes true, this is the back of a pillow, but the same would hold true on a garment or anything else that you wanted to put an invisible zipper in. So look at that. There is zero gap, no messes, and if I hadn't had a print, if it was a plain fabric, you wouldn't even know where that zipper was. So I think that's all I have to say about that. So make sure you subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment. I would love to see a picture of your invisible zipper. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. Keep stitching.